Hello everybody, meteorologist Jim Manali here. Thought I'd do a video on the severe weather potential coming up for Texas this weekend. And it's going to be kind of a two-phase type of thing. On Saturday, the dynamics behind it are going to be different than what's going to happen on Sunday, and I'll go through that here. First, as always, I always like to start with the surface pressure and dew point map. And we can very clearly see here a dry front here, a dry line coming through. These are the lines of equal dew points, and you can see how tightly packed they are. And you can see here some nice convergence. Here's winds coming out of the southwest here, out of the southeast here, and we have nice convergence right along that dry line. So we have good low-level moisture and a good dry line, and that goes all the way up to 8. This is 850 millibars here, showing 850 dew points. And I mean, the dry line and the convergence is almost identical as it is at the surface. So we have deep moisture along the dry line, and we have good convergence all the way up through 850 millibars. So we have good low-level lift for the Saturday system. Here is our 925 millibar winds. Not much in the way of a jet coming in. We don't have a strong 925 millibar jet, but we still see that convergence coming along this area here. We'll go up here to 850. Now we do see a little bit more of a jet coming up here, particularly in the northern Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, into southwest Kansas. And we still see some convergence here as well. But we have, like I said, a little bit of a stronger jet. So we have good low-level dynamics here. We also have a good energy at 500 millibars rounding this cutoff low over the Four Corners region that will add energy along that dry line. So we have good setup here, particularly in this region here for severe thunderstorms. This is our instability. It's not off the page, but there's decent instability, and with a lot of low-level lift, we don't really need, to be sky high to get some good development in this region. Here's our 300 millibar, and we want to look for the divergence. We have good divergence here, very good divergence here. Here's the winds here. Here's our winds here. And we have divergent air in between there. We're also in the, here comes a max running around the bend of the trough here. Now, we're here in the right front quadrant at this point, but as this comes around, we'll get into the right rear quadrant, which will be good for thunderstorm development and good energy coming around there. We'll look here. Here's our shear, and again, we have good shear up in this region, up in here, particularly up in here, but we don't have as much of the dynamic features up in this region here. So I'm not expecting much in the way of severe weather up in this region here. I think we're looking mostly down here. Now, here's the SPC forecast. I wouldn't be surprised to see this either moved back or expanded back, and a enhanced risk area added somewhere like in here, something like that is kind of my thinking now. I think this is gonna be the most likely area for a cluster of severe weather as far as Saturday goes. Now we'll go ahead to Sunday, and we're gonna have a little bit of a different situation here. First of all, the dry line is still back here. Here's the dry line back here. We do have good moisture advection coming off the Gulf of Mexico into southeast Texas. We also have we do have a good 925 millibar jet. So that is different than what we had on Saturday. So like I said, it's different characteristics that are going to cause the different severe weather situations both days. So there's a 925 millibar jet. Here's 850 millibars, and now, unlike what we saw on Saturday, we are starting to see that turning of the wind with height as we're going forward here in time. Here's 700 millibars. So we've gone here from southwest to due south, southeast originally to due south, and even a little bit of southwest component to it back here. So we are seeing it's a little bit of a different change here from for what happened Saturday. Now, 500 millibars, we're not really looking at much help. The cutoff low is still back here. The energy is still back here. There's really not much in the way of 500 millibar energy. 300 millibars, we do not have any real jet to work with. There's a weak jet down here. that's going to be adding maybe a little bit of lift up in here. We're in the right, the left front quadrant here. Maybe add a little bit of lift. Our divergence is there. It's not quite as impressive as it was for Saturday. So in other words, we don't have as much upper level support in addition for the Sunday system as we did for Saturday with this. But we do have a lot more instability with this, though. Wider area, and we have much stronger instability down in here, and not much in the way. Oh, this is the EHI. We don't have much in the way of convective inhibition, is what I was going to say, but I didn't put that chart up. This is our EHI. I did not show this on the Saturday because it really wasn't that impressive. There was a little bit up in here, and that's why I kind of picked this area as more of a focal point. But here we have much stronger EHI values. With the turning of the wind and this and the instability, I'd be a little bit worried about this area here for possible tornadoes. I mean, there can always be tornadoes in the severe weather event, but this is, if you're looking for them, I think this is where you'll be focusing your attention in this region down in here, and overlapping the lower level EHI that kind of goes along with that as well. So that's right about in here is, I think, where you want to zoom in for possible tornadoes as it looks now. Here's the SPC forecast. I like their slight risk. Wouldn't be surprised, again, if they were to add a enhanced risk area somewhere in this region here. We'll see what happens with that, but that's kind of my thought going into it now. So that's it. So we'll see what happens this weekend. There is certainly potential coming up for this weekend, and well, just to see if it works out. Meteorologist Jim Rinaldi with your latest look at the severe weather.